subscribe. Ding the bell.
Hey YouTube, today we are going to be putting metal gears into the Max Smasher. Specifically the white one because my son has claimed the blue one. We'll be putting metal gears in the blue one at some point, but I want to do a comparison between the two. So I've got the bead motor, front and rear differential gears, and the transmission gears. However, I got a comment from Gary D that he says the counter gear, I don't know if that's what it's actually called, but we'll go with that. The counter gear is bigger than the stock plastic gear. He says the counter gear, the metal one, measures 9.8 and the stock plastic measures 9.4. So I've got a caliper right here and we are going to measure. Let's see. And the metal gear does measure, I don't know if you can see it, 9.8. So what that means, I don't know. Was it different for his and mine's going to be fine? I don't know. He said he had to grind this down to get it to fit, so we're going to find out right now. I'm not going to record the complete installation of the metal gears. I think it's pretty straightforward, but I will record any areas that seem to be problematic, like maybe this gear here or anything else that I find. So if you remove this screw right here, your portal axles will just pop right off, and that'll give you access to the rear differential. To my surprise, the differential gear is actually metal, and when you take this out, I don't know what that gear is called, but that is also metal. So I'm assuming that the planetary gears that are inside this little case are metal as well, just like what comes in the little kit when you order it. So I guess I don't have to change that. Less work for me. And indeed, all the planetary gears are metal gears as well. So the Max Smasher is advertised as having metal gears pre-installed in the portal axles. And that is true. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that there's metal gears in the differentials already as well. The differential gears were very well greased, but the portal axles have no grease in them at all. So we might want to put a little bit of grease in there. So I've got a little dab of grease on all 4 portals. Get them moving freely. I've got the transmission gears and the high-speed motor that we're going to get installed. Just got to pull the motor wire, flip it over, and you got to undo these 4 screws right here, and everything should come out. One more screw you got to get undone here is, not sure if you can see it, but that screw right there. That screw right there is for the servo that changes from low gear to high gear. So you take that off, the little cap comes off, and then everything should slide out nicely. So the transmission and the motor are off. I have this link here. I put the servo to neutral so that when I put it back on, I know it goes at a 90-degree off to the side of the truck. This way it just makes it easier to get this link back in. So the next thing is we take these little screws out here to get these drive shafts off. Pulling off the main cap for the transmission. And indeed there are plastic gears in there, so we're going to get those changed out, and I'll note any difficulties. So to get the motor out, it's really simple. You just take these 2 screws right here, one on either side out, and no prying of the gear. They made a perfect cutout in the plastic for the gear to go straight through. Really awesome. I love FMS. The new motor fits in like a glove. So I finished the big gear side and put the screws back in. I got the motor in as well. And now I'm on to the smaller gear side. There's 3 screws on this side. There's one here, and one in here. So here is the shifter in the smaller gear side. It's pretty simple. There doesn't have as much grease in there as I think they should have, but it is what it is. Pay attention to the new metal gears because so you've got 3 that are about the same size, but 2 of them have little indents on one side. And that comes into play right here. When you take this one off, this one locks in to those 3 little pins there with the little indents. So you got to make sure you put the right gear in the right place. By far the hardest thing was getting this little C-clip off. So what I did is I had my wife hold it down with a needle nose pliers while I took 2 small flathead screwdrivers and pushed down on either side of the C-clip until it popped off. And I did it over a little bit of grease. This way when it popped off, the grease kind of grabbed it. And it worked good. And then getting it on, I just pressured it on with a needle nose. So there is definitely a little discrepancy between the size of the metal gear and the plastic gear. You can see it's not much, but it's enough to maybe make things bind up. So I think I'm going to have to grind the metal gear down just a bit. I ground down the raised center of this gear and the metal gear below it, raised edges on both sides. When I first set them in, this gear was higher than this gear. Now, after I did it, they are perfectly level. This gear and this gear line up perfectly level now. So I'm going to do it to this gear as well. So when I measured these gears originally, they started out about 9.9. Now, after grinding them down, I am at about 9.68. So I think that's enough to effectively take the edge off, so to speak, so that they don't bind up in the transmission. Okay, all metal gears are in. I know I'm using red tacky, but it's all I have. Maybe a little heavy, but it should still do the trick. Testing it out. I'm going to put it in low gear first. Let me hold this here. Overall, it sounds good. Doesn't sound like it's struggling. Let's see reverse. All right, let's try it in high. So the new motor is in, and we've got it in high speed. It's definitely faster. I can kind of see the wheels ballooning just a little bit, which that means we've definitely got more speed. And let's put it in low gear real quick. It's fast in low gear, but let's see. We can still go pretty slow. Alright, time to take it outside and race it against the one without the gears and the high speed motor.
Time for the speed test. We're going to do the unmodded one first.
Which one's the unmodded one, dude? The blue one, and then we're going to do the modded one and see the speed difference. We've got this set to 0, and here goes Dacky Dude. You ready, dude?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Full throttle, full throttle. He crashed. Okay, unmodded truck first. Okay, full throttle. Bring it over here. Let's see what we got. Speed we got was 5 miles an hour. Okay, the one with the upgraded motor and metal gears. Let's see what top speed we get. There we go. Full throttle.
I'm going to get it. 50 just right.
Wait. Oh, double the speed. Double the speed, 10 miles an hour. That's pretty darn good. All right, let's do them both side by side. Now you have to steer straight, dude. You can't turn the wheel too quick, because if you turn too quick, what happens? Right. As you can see, we both have them in high gear setting. Right there and right there. So, you ready, dude? We're going to do a little drag race. We're going to go to that line right there. See this line in front of us? You ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Whoa, whoa! Max is going to give us a little reminder of how it goes without the upgraded motor and gears. Good, dude. That wasn't a good reminder. What was that? Go! Okay, now we're doing the test with the upgraded motor and gears, and I guarantee you we're going to get a lot more distance.
Ooh, look at that.
This time's following.
Okay, so. Yeah, it's on screen.
I didn't do very good.
No, you didn't.
So now we're going to try it again, but we increased the gap because this one has got so much more speed. We're going to see if we could make that gap. You think we could do it, dude?
Yes! Oh!
So it jumped further than I thought, so we increased the distance. Okay, you ready, dude?
Mm-hmm. I think he's gonna make it.
We're going to do this, dude.
Oh!
Hey, let go of it. Wow. Let go of it. Come on.
You shouldn't let go of the throttle. Oh! Ooh.
Here, you want to try?
Yeah.
It's hard to steer going that fast. Okay, you ready, dude? Go ahead. Whoa, that was kind of cool.
That's actually cooler than I thought.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was the best jump.
That one was really
it was,
good.
What is it called? You know when you wheelie in the air, then land and do that?
Oh, what do they call that? A sky wheelie.
Yeah, sky wheelie.
You did a sky wheelie. That's awesome. Whenever you're ready.
I did a wheelie.
You keep doing sky wheelies. You just crashed into the front of it. Go. You ran my foot over, man. Go. You are the king of the sky wheelies.
I know something.
What do you know?
This is kind of facing this way.
No, it's just the car is pulling that way. Okay, we're gonna try a backflip. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna try it. You ready?
Yes.
No. No, I don't think we have enough. Oh, I did it!
I did it!
Oh. You almost did it. This is by far not the right setup, but it's got almost time. No, that. Okay, so a little problem when you start to amp up the speed and the power. This thing wasn't made for that kind of speed and power and jumping, because this little plastic eye here that holds on this piece here has broken. So hopefully they got some metal upgrades or something that's going to make this stronger, because it's definitely not a monster truck if you can't do jumps. So you can see here how the little eye just broke. Plastic, especially this thin, is not good for a monster truck. So the included shocks you can take out and you can fill with oil, and I'd meant to do this before we did the whole running, but I forgot. So I did put in oil filled shocks, and the white one and the blue one still has friction shocks. Let's see if it makes any kind of difference. So I dropped them 4 times just to make sure the test is working right, and all 4 times the white one, the one with the oil filled shock, stays more planted, absorbs the impact better. Now these tires are really, really bouncy, as you can see, but I think the last one, the one now, this was the most even drop. They landed pretty much the same time, and the white one still kind of planted better than the friction shocks. There you go, the Max Smasher, the upgraded motor, doubled the speed. Awesome. The metal gears seem to be doing very well, but it's definitely not a monster truck because of the plastic drive shafts. Cannot take the abuse. If you use it like a monster truck, it cannot take the abuse, the jumps and the wheelies and all that torque on the plastic drive shafts. Just not going to work. So I think they have metal drive shafts. Fair RC does have metal drive shafts. Definitely worth getting. I got to look and find out, because without metal drive shafts, this truck is not very good. I feel like this is going to happen every time you go over a jump. This plastic is way too thin, but it is what it is. So metal upgrade time. Nothing against FMS. They are still awesome. They still make really cool cars, and upgrades are like, you know, you always got to upgrade something. It never comes ready to go. Very few vehicles come where you can bash them or use them exactly as they meant to be used without doing a little upgrade here or there. So it is what it is. Please, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding the bell.
Subscribe. Ding the bell.